So beginning here in mountain pose, we like to start with introducing ourselves or getting reacquainted with the breath. So take note here of your breathing. You might start with some deep breaths, a nice full expansive breath to fill up your lungs. You might even exhale with a sigh, just letting it all go and shake that loose. Maybe one more time, a nice full breath in, really fill yourself up, and exhale. And then just continue with slow, steady breaths, this mindful breathing. Breathing in a way where you can feel your breath and hear your breath. An opportunity to tune in and really connect, to be more aware and more present just by breathing. When you take deep breaths, it takes your full attention, allowing the outside things to stay on the outside, so you can pay attention to what's going on inside. Just to bring a bit more energy to the breath and awareness to your breath. When you inhale, again, just feel the breath rising, filling up your lungs, but also feel the extension of your spine growing taller. Then exhale, draw your belly button in towards your spine for that light contraction of the abdominal muscles. As we engage the abdominal lock, just a light pull, doesn't have to be too strong here, but having that awareness of your center body. As we know, Uddiyana Bandha, the abdominal lock, helps us to be more strong in our bodies, supported, helps us to be in stillness, also helps us to move. Again, a breath in to fill your lungs, lengthening through the spine, and the exhale to connect to your center body. Let's just take 3 more breaths like this. And when you're ready, inhale and extend your arms overhead. Just take your time. Just treat this like a nice stretch, reaching all the way up. And exhale, fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and just slowly make your way down. You may not go all the way down, that's okay. But you might touch your toes, or your hands might land at your shins. Then inhale to slide your hands up the shins, perhaps to your knees or thighs, and extend your spine. Feel like you're coming forward. Then exhale, either stay here or fold again back down toward your toes. And wherever you are, just start to feel what's happening in your legs. We're going to work our hips and hamstrings today. So maybe this is our first hamstring stretch, this standing forward fold. Even with knees bent, just notice the sensation of a stretch in the backs of the legs, even an engaged sensation in the legs. And of course, the rounded back body, feeling the heaviness of the upper body, maybe a little release in your low back and your hips. Let's return to a halfway lift. So inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees. Hold here on the exhale, making your way to a half forward fold where you're parallel to the ground. Feeling energy moving through the top of your head towards the front of the room, while your hips and tailbone feel like they're moving to the back of the room. And here you probably will feel the engaged legs. Now shift your weight into your heels, bend your knees like you're sitting, lift your heart, extend your arms out, then up as you inhale, reaching to the sky. And exhale, you can bring your hands down to your heart or arms down to your side. Just to finish that flow, our half salute to the sun. Good. Very mindful movement and breath. Let's do our half salute again. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Feel the lengthening through the sides of your body. Exhale, fold forward, going at your own pace. Bend your knees as much as you need to, and make your way all the way down or partially down. Inhale, rise up halfway, half forward fold. On the exhale, again, stay here or fold again towards your toes, stopping wherever you'd like. Still moving. shifting your weight into your heels, bend your knees, then inhale to reverse your swan dive, coming all the way back up. Reach a little higher as you're able, and exhale, arms down to your side or hands to heart to finish. While in stillness, take another breath, keep this connection. Let's continue. When you're ready, inhale, sweeping arms out and up, energy through your hands and fingers. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, slide your hands up the legs a bit to extend your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, fold all the way down, bend your knees more so you can place your hands on the mat out in front of you. And just walk or step or even jump your feet back to the back end of your mat. Here, draw a straight line through the body to form plank pose, your high push-up position. Continue to feel the energy in your body as you're breathing in and out. Next, exhale, just bend your knees a little, send your hips into the air as if they're floating into the air as you guide your way into downward facing dog. Our first inverted posture here. If you need to, just step into place or arrange your feet and hands on your mat so it feels good to you. Feel free just to hold your posture right where you are and just be with breath, or add movement here. Since we're working the legs, you might pedal the feet. Just press one heel down as the other heel lifts, and then alternate so you can feel that stretch perhaps in your calves, but also notice how this affects your toes, the soles of your feet. And even notice if this affects your hamstrings at all. Good. Just come to stillness. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, bend your knees so you can walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat to forward fold. Inhale, rise up just halfway or just feel the extended spine. Exhale, fold. Let's keep the body in motion, shifting weight into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Grow tall, nice straight line up to the top here. And exhale, chair pose or a chair-like position, sitting back and down. There is a weight shift into the hips and heels, outstretched arms for balance. Breathe in and exhale, dive out of your chair, down towards your toes. Release head, neck, and shoulders. Monkey pose. As you inhale, just slide your hands up the legs a bit to extend. Exhale, folding all the way down, hands to the earth, hop or step back, plank pose. Another pause there, just to adjust, find that straight line, and tap into your own strength. Now, with this exhale, you can take that same shortcut to down dog, or with your exhale, finish the push-up. Coming down to Chaturanga Dandasana, four-limb staff pose. Inhale to a back bend. It could be a low cobra or sphinx, or lifting the heart and hips by straightening your arms into upward facing dog, and then exhaling into downward facing dog. Again, we'll just pause here. You can go back to that movement of the feet, pedal the feet if you'd like. Let's continue with our lunges here. So inhale, extend your right leg up behind you, reaching back. Now, I'm not too concerned about the height of the leg, it's more about the extension of the leg. So if you need to lower the leg to straighten it out, that's fine. Just really reach through the heel of your foot or the balls of the foot or toes. Inhale again, then exhale it, step right foot to the top of the mat, maybe it's landing somewhere near the right hand. Turn your left heel to the floor and put pressure and weight into that back foot. Light hands here up top so you can inhale and hinge from hips to rise up. Let's hold our warrior one for a moment. Nice reaching sensation. Feeling this left leg kind of spiral open outwards so we can get this stretch in the left hip flexor. Let's breathe in. Exhale, hinge and fold. Make your way back down to the earth. We'll step back, plank pose. Perhaps Chaturanga Dandasana, which you can modify by bringing knees to the floor first, then your chest. Maybe a low back bend if you need to this time. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, just stepping into place, adjusting your feet and hands. And we'll do the same for the other side. So an inhale to extend left leg up, hold on the exhale, keep breathing, of course, reaching back. Yes, lower the leg if you need to help it straighten out. Good energetic extension. Inhale again, then exhale, left foot now, stepping up to the top of the mat. Turning right heel to the floor behind you. Good strong connection to the earth behind you, finding your balance. Light hand, so you can just hinge from your hips, rising up. Again, just holding for a moment. The upper body, even though we're facing forward, it has a sense of turning to the left as the right leg kind of opens out to the right. Okay, and so you have this opening effect. That's how we get that stretch and lengthening sensation through the right hip flexor. Breathe in and exhale to move. Hinge and fold, hands back down to the earth. Slide left foot back to meet the other and complete your series as you'd like. Don't forget you can always take the shortcut to downward facing dog. Do a little floor work after your down dog. So gently kneel, sit back briefly in hero. Sit off to the side and swing the legs around to the front. Let's start in seated here. So staff pose. So sitting up nice and tall, straight legs, flex your feet. Hands on the floor by your hips, just pushing into the ground to help extend the spine. If you need to, roll the shoulders back. Nice opened heart sensation. So this is staff pose. A couple of breaths here. Again, just feeling the energy in the legs, especially with the flexed feet. Okay, feel tall and maintain that height as you now inhale to extend the arms up into the air. Exhale, hinge a little bit forward, and then just lower your hands down to your legs. And from here, just keep breathing and inhale to extend spine at this new angle. Exhale, pull belly in, and maybe take a step down the legs with your hands. Just a little bit is fine. Now you're welcome to stay here with the straight spine and straight legs, or if you need to or want to, bend your knees, round your back, lower your head. That might allow you to go a little deeper. You might even be able to reach and touch your toes. So kind of mimicking, very similar to standing forward fold. We have our seated forward fold. Good opportunity for the legs to get a nice stretch. Even your back gets a nice stretch, especially if your hands are reaching out in front of you. Let's take 2 more breaths. Free your hands, reach forward, and with an inhale, hinge your way back up, reaching for the ceiling. And exhale, just bring your hands down. Just return to your staff pose. So just re-energize here. Long legs, straight legs, flexed feet, tall spine, long neck, look forward. Okay, then soften the body. Maybe scoot forward if you need to get to the center of your mat so you can roll down onto your back. And just give yourself a hug here. Draw the knees in. Take an opportunity here to circle the feet, get into the ankles a little bit. Make sure to circle the ankles in both directions. Maybe flex your feet, point your toes. Just lightly flex the feet, just lightly flex the feet, holding onto your knees or shins and just taking the legs open here as if you're setting up for happy baby pose. But we're not going to kick the feet up into the air. We're just going to stay here just to get that stretch through the inner legs. Light stretch. And if you want to add a little movement, what I like to do is imagine you're on a bicycle, or imagine like a horse has bicycle pedals. Okay, and then try to pedal those pedals, pedal the horse while it's sitting on the horse here. And go in both directions if you can. Just getting into the hips. And then we'll bring the knees back to center. Let's come to bridge pose. So set the feet onto the floor. Now the feet and knees can be hip distance apart, but you can also take the feet a little wider than your hips, whatever feels most comfortable. Take a nice full breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale through the mouth, feel the core engagement, using that energy now to lift your hips into the air. Now this could be just a little lift. If you have a block nearby, you can even slide a block underneath you to sit on, or just keep lifting on your own, just adding more sensation to the body. You might even get your arms and shoulders a bit underneath you, just to feel the chest open a little bit more, especially in the upper region of the body. For me, if the feet are wide, when my feet are wide, I feel like I can lift a little higher. I have more space in my back, in my hips. Feeling the glutes engage, hamstrings are engaged, thighs. Getting a nice opening in the front body too. 2 more breaths. Start to soften the body. You might wiggle the toes forward a little bit, making space in the lower half of the body. Extend your arms straight up into the air to get the shoulders out from underneath you. Now roll your way down to the earth. We'll extend the arms behind to the back wall while you extend the legs forward on the floor. Start re-energizing the body. Let's bring both knees into chest. With a little momentum and breath, maybe rock your way up to seated or roll to one side and press yourself up to seated. We'll come to boat pose here. So just set yourself up. Just ensure wherever you are in your boat position, you have a nicely extended spine. You might be nice and tall, or you're leaning back. Wherever you are, it's a straight back. Heels could stay on the floor, but you can certainly float the feet into the air. Knees can be bent, or you can straighten the legs. Do energize the feet. You might flex them or point your toes. Hold on or free the hands. Good core conditioning. We're going to move from here. Breathe in like you're floating up into the air. Then exhale, cross legs. If you can, hands in front so you can roll forward onto the hands, or hands to the side and swing the feet back behind you, plank pose. Let's take a shortcut to downward facing dog. Soft knees, hips float into the sky. Adjust your feet and hands. Then inhale, extend right leg up. Hold for a moment to get that full extension, and we'll open the hip here. Bend your knee, bring your heel down towards your backside. A little lift of the knee, so you feel that little turn or twist of the spine as the hips open towards the right side. Now draw a circle in the air with your right knee. It could be a small circle, it could be a big circle, and make sure you circle in both directions. Again, just getting into that hip socket, yes. Good mobility there. And just finish at the top. You'll breathe in and exhale to unwind and step through. Return to warrior 1. So right foot to the top of the mat. Yes, left heel to the floor. Nice balancing. Rise up, floating up. Inhale. Exhale, opening to our warrior 2. So warrior 2, nice lunge, a nice hip opener. Strengthening the legs. Nice outstretched arms. Let's follow the right hand forward to angle the upper half of the body as we move into side angle. So right hand reaching towards the floor, while the left hand reaches for the ceiling. Nice and opened here. You can stay up high in the pose, so the hand may not touch the ground at all, or you might be low enough to touch the ground. Or if you're just not quite there, maybe a block coming in to act as the floor. Let's breathe in. And exhale, we'll turn and fold, hands back down to the earth, step back, plank pose, another pause, just so you can feel the body realign, and a shortcut now to downward facing dog. Other side, inhale, extend left leg up, reach and hold, good extension, and your hip opener. Yes, bend your knee, little lift of the knee, feel how the body kind of naturally turns towards your left. Then your circles in the air with the knee, small circles or big circles, whatever feels right for this side and both directions, of course, yeah. Good balance, good strength, good awareness of your body and space. Let's finish at the top. You'll breathe in and then exhale to unwind and step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Good control there, right heel to the earth. Finding your center, hinge from hips, first warrior. Exhale, opening to your second warrior. Adjust your feet here. Wider stance perhaps. Strongly engaged legs. Even the arms, hands and fingers really reach, yes? Then follow the left hand forward. There's our setup for side angle as we rotate the arms, reaching up and down. Nice opening for the whole front body. Heart and hips here. Perfect. Good breathing. And then ready to move. We'll take a breath in first, and the exhale to move. Turn and fold, hands to the mat, back to our plank pose. You can take that same shortcut to down dog or complete your vinyasa. Coming down if you like, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Finishing together in downward facing dog. Take a nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, just extend the spine, feel like you're coming forward. Exhale, fold. I'm going to stay here and add a few things. First, just kind of lean toward your toes. Just lean forward a little bit so you can feel kind of more muscle engagement to support your body so you don't fall forward. And with your arms and hands, bring them behind the legs. So maybe your hands are at your calves or down a little lower. And now, while holding onto the legs, just inhale and try to extend the spine. Wherever you are, just try to lengthen. Then exhale, drawing yourself down towards the legs. Since you're holding on to the legs, you can assist your own body. Now, you don't have to get too deep, especially if that doesn't feel good, okay? If you're forcing the body to get into this pose, you don't need to do that. All right, soften it up if you want to. Okay? Just enough where, okay, I can hold this for a good 5 breaths perhaps. Transitioning, we'll shift the weight back into the heels now. Bend the knees to lower the hips, start to re-extend the spine, arms out to the side, drive your heels into the floor to straighten the legs, to stand up tall. That's an in-breath. And exhale, you can bring your arms down to your side. There we are, finishing that sequence there. Maybe a little roll of the shoulders, just check in, maybe a little head and neck stretch. And just get ready for our next position. So tree pose. It's a balance, of course, but it has that hip opener here, right? So starting in mountain pose, soften the knees a little. Start shifting your weight into your right foot, nicely grounded. Inhale, get tall, breath rising, filling up your lungs. Exhale through the mouth, engage your core, pull in. And that sets us up so we can pick up the left foot, flexing the foot there, and just take the knee maybe slowly out so you can maintain that nice squareness of the hips until the leg just kind of naturally stops before you start to turn, okay? And then just placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. Yeah, it could be to inner thigh or below the knee at your calf, or even use the floor. Inhale, let's reach up. And when your arms are up, even straight up or even out or even bent, when you feel like you're being lifted, torso, like all the space is being created right through here and around your belt line. And so that you might be able to maybe take that knee just a tiny bit more to the side of the room. Let's keep the arms extended. We'll swing the knee forward, lifting the knee with the flexed foot, and just plant the foot into the ground, rebalancing on 2 feet as your arms return to your side. Yeah, and just shake it all loose. Even down to your feet. Check in with your right foot there. Return to mountain pose. Settling in with the breath. Soften your knees, shifting weight into left foot, root and connect. Inhale, tall, lengthened spine, fill your lungs. Exhale through the mouth, pull belly in. And there's our cue to lift the right foot. Swing the knee out. Hips are square, facing forward, so that leg just kind of naturally stops. And placing foot somewhere on the inside of your standing leg. Feel free to use the floor. Then inhale, extend the arms up. Reach up, lift, feel that lightness, growing tall. As this left foot roots into the floor, nicely grounded. So you're moving in these opposite directions. Lots of opposites in yoga, right? Focus is directly forward or slightly downward. Nice hip opening. Keep arms extended. We'll swing right knee forward now, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot into the ground, rebalancing, and the arms can come down to your side to finish. And just shake it loose because you're done with that. All right, still moving. Breathe in, reach high. Exhale, chair pose. Sit, pause for a moment, get some good balance, and then just see if you can sit back and down a little deeper. You can even lower the arms a little bit so they're more parallel to the floor, and really reach forward as you sit. Okay, that seat's been moved to the back edge of your mat. It's like, where'd my chair go? Breathe in, Then exhale, we'll dive forward towards toes, releasing head, neck, and shoulders there. Monkey pose, that's our halfway lift as you inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold all the way to the earth with the hands, hop or step back, plank pose, come down if you want to. Chaturanga Dandasana, yeah. Inhale, up dog, flowing as you'd like here, finishing with an exhale, downward facing dog. Perfect. Okay, more floor work. Gently kneel, sit back, off to the side, get the legs around to the front. Let's come to cobbler's pose or bound angle. Okay, feel free just to sit on your mat if you happen to have a block or even a blanket, sitting on something, just to lift you higher, creating more space underneath the knees so there's more weight to pull the legs down if you want that. So wherever you are, nice tall spine, that's our inhale. You can stay here on the exhale or start to hinge forward, just like we did with the seated forward fold. You can start to fold forward here with a straight spine or rounded spine. Take your time, okay, and pay close attention to the new sensations that start to arise in the inner legs, yeah? Yoga really gives us the opportunity to be more in tune with the more subtle parts of our bodies. That includes sensation. Yes. Good. Wherever you are, just stay folded, but free your hands and just extend them forward. Okay, just out in front of you. Fingertips on the floor perhaps, and just feel kind of the lengthening in the sides of your body. It might target the latissimus muscles, kind of down through the sides of the body, your wings, or your upper back, your shoulders, or just notice where you have sensation as you reach out in front of you here. 3 more breaths. After the 3rd breath, you can just walk your hands back towards yourself. Then you can just, if your back is rounded, just roll back up or extend the spine and hinge your way back up. Make sure you have a nice long spine. Let's bring the hands behind for a moment. You actually put the palms on the floor and roll the shoulders back, lifting the chin a bit, opening up through the chest. As you press into the floor, notice how the torso wants to lift up as you create this little back bend. And you might even notice the hips starting to open up a tiny bit more. Just 2 breaths here. We'll transition to a boat pose. So come out of that back bend, just lower the head, look forward, start to lean back, bring the knees together. Heels, this could be your boat. Hands and feet can be on the floor, or float the hands, float the feet. Inhale here, and exhale, cross legs, hands in front or to the side, so you can get your feet back behind you, plank pose. Now what we're going to do here is do a partial push-up. Actually, you're going to go down a little bit, but hold. Okay, just bend the elbows, okay, a little bit. Lift your hips up a little higher. Yeah, so you draw that nice, strong, straight line, really getting into the arms here. And then push away to downward facing dog. And kind of feel how the chest and head naturally sink between the arms. You can do that one more time. Slowly come back out to plank pose. Do a partial push-up. Just bend the elbows a little as they squeeze towards your ribs. You don't have to go down too low. See if you can lift your hips a little higher. That's it. Good. Then push away to down dog. Now we'll flow. Inhale, extend right leg up. Quick bend and twist. Little opening there. We'll unwind, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat, back to Warrior 1. Left heel to the earth, rising high. Yes. Exhale, opening to your Warrior 2. To really get into this hip opening, maybe take the feet a tiny bit wider. Not much. Just kind of scoot the feet away from center. And then side angle, same thing. Reach, maybe reach a tiny bit more, and then rotate. And just those small movements do take you slightly deeper into your pose. We're still moving. Breathe in. Exhale, turn, fold, hands to the floor, back to our plank pose. Alrighty, same thing, that partial push-up. Come down a little bit, bend elbows, hold. Yeah, lift your hips much higher. That way you feel like your legs and hips are involved and not just your upper body. Now push away to down dog. There you go. Other side, inhale, extend left leg up, bend and twist open, and unwind to step through. All that nice hip work, loosening up. Warrior one, right heel to the earth, good grounding and balance. Rise up, exhale, opening to warrior two. Arriving and then maybe taking a slightly wider stance. Side angle as we prepare, we reach out. If there's more room, reach out more, then rotate. Reach high and low. Good energy in the extended arms, even through your fingers. Yes, breathe in. Exhale, turn, hands to the floor, back to plank pose. This time go through a full vinyasa, chaturanga. You can bring knees to the floor first if you need to. Up dog, or to keep it low, cobra is fine. Exhale, downward facing dog. There we are. Okay. While you're in down dog, if you need to, tiptoe forward a tiny bit and then press heels towards the floor. They don't have to touch the floor, but just feel that little extra stretch in the backs of the legs, down in the calf area. Okay? Then bend your knees, your heels will lift perhaps. Inhale, and exhale, walk, step, or hop both feet up to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, lengthening halfway up. Exhale, fold. Another forward fold variation. So we'll call this gorilla pose. So you want to lean back into your heels so you can lift your toes, the whole front portion of your foot. You're going to take your hands from the front, or your fingertips slide underneath the foot from the front until your toes reach the wrist. Okay, so if you can do both hands underneath the feet there. Then inhale to extend the spine like you're trying to escape from this position. And exhale, just fold. Okay? So again, you might feel that kind of that stretch and pull through the upper back, lats, shoulders, kind of like what you did in that cobbler's pose when your arms were extended out front. That's it. But here you're doing a handstand. Standing on your hands. 3 more breaths. Just another variation of our standing forward fold. And then leaning back enough so you can get the hands out from underneath. Inhale, monkey pose, just to re-extend the spine. Exhale, fold. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. We'll come up, get nice and tall. Just pause here at the top. Just keep reaching so you can get that nice extension through the whole body after being in that deep forward fold. And then arms can return to your side and just shake all that loose. Okay? Good. We're just going to continue here. Whenever you're ready, inhale, reach into the sky. Exhale, chair pose. You might even drop the arms to parallel as you sit back and down and deep into that seat. That seat just got farther back and it's lower. That's all. Breathe in and exhale, dive out towards toes. Forward fold, release the head. Monkey pose, spinal extension. Exhale, fold, hands to the floor, hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you'd like, chaturanga dandasana, or skip it, just take a shortcut to downward facing. There it is, good. Finishing in or downward facing dog there. When you're ready, inhale, extend right leg up, bend and twist, and then just see if you can just kind of twist open a tiny bit more without flipping over, and then move into pigeon. So we'll unwind and bring right knee to the floor behind the right wrist, setting up for pigeon, nice angled leg. We'll set the left knee onto the floor. Use your left knee and toes to crawl back or shift back to find center, just like we set up for warrior one. And then inhale, just to extend the spine, like just really look forward, and exhale, crawl forward. You might lower your elbows and arms to the floor, get your neck to be neutral. And if you're low enough, you might even reach the floor with your forehead, or if you're kind of high up and a block is nearby, bring the block underneath your forehead, or if the block isn't nearby, stack your fists. So make fists with both hands, stack them, and just rest your forehead here. And if you need an alternative to this pose, you can roll over onto your back. Cross right leg over left here. Draw the legs towards yourself for the reclining pigeon pose. So wherever you are, just again, notice sensation. Tap into the subtleties of what you're feeling. Three more breaths. After the third breath, just come onto your hands or just bring your hands a little closer. Take a peek up here because we're going to add something here. So hands on the mat in front of you. You might even take the hands really wide. They might even be on the floor. Elbows bent and pointing out. And just lower like you were doing a push-up, okay? Just coming down low, just for a quick second. And just gonna push your way back up. Just push into the floor with the hands, just straightening your arms here. And then sit off to the right side, way off to the right. So you can bring the left leg around to the front and come back to cobbler's pose or bound angle. So soles of the feet together. You can scoop up your toes or just hold onto your ankles or shins. Inhale here and exhale, hinge forward. Now we're not going to be here too long, so feel free to go as low as you'd like, rounding the spine, lower your chin. Maybe one more time, we'll extend the arms out in front, fingertips on the floor. And then bring the hands back towards the feet or legs. Roll up or straighten the spine and hinge your way back up so we're nice and tall. Okay. We're going to mimic Maya here and get into another version of pigeon pose. So follow me. We're going to take the left leg. I think I'm mirroring you. So take your left leg on the floor here so that your shin is parallel to the front edge of your mat, and a light flex of the foot, not too much, just a light flex. So you don't have the heel in close. We have this angle, but away from you so the shin is parallel. Taking the right leg, okay, we're going to get the ankle. Ideally, we're going to get the ankle on top of the knee here, which might create a lot of space, okay? If that's the case, then just slide the foot that direction so you can start to close the gap. You don't have to close the gap. If it does, okay? So this is fire logs or ankle to knee pose or double pigeon, okay? What you can do just to help, again, pushing hands into the floor, lifting to make space in the sides of the body, which might open the hips, and you might start to close the gap, or gently press, or just put weight here so the knee is moving towards the ankle bone. But again, this might be a lot of sensation and you can't get there at all. This is fine, or just like I said, kind of drag that foot off the knee. You might be able to lower it a bit more. Okay, so getting those outer hips a bit. Alrighty, if you're folded, we're going to come back up, bring the hands behind you so we can get out of this pose. Maybe lift just to adjust your seat, and then float your way into boat pose. Again, just for a transition, we're going to inhale, lift, exhale, cross legs, hands in front, or to the side, hop or step back, plank pose. Finish a sequence here to get you to down dog. You can always take a shortcut. Once you're in downward facing, inhale, extend the left leg into the air, bend and twist, and just see if you can open up a tiny bit more. And then pigeon pose. As you unwind, we bring left knee to the floor behind the left wrist with an angled leg. Right knee comes to the floor. Use right knee and toes to carefully shift your weight back to the point where it feels just right for your hips and ankles and knees. Inhale to extend spine, and exhale, crawl forward. Just going to the position that works best for you on this side. And maybe this is the side you do need to transition onto your back for a variation. Noticing the lengthened right leg behind you, getting into that hip flexor. And then the left side, of course, you might feel or have sensation both on the inner leg and outer leg, just depending on the angle of this leg. Let's take 3 more breaths. Then you'll slowly rise up onto your hands. We're going to do that same thing, just getting the hands in a little closer to the body, but then take them wide on the mat. Okay, now you're going to do your push-up here. So bent elbows, and just lower your chest towards the floor. And then press into the floor with the hands to straighten the arms and lift the body. And then sit off to your left side, way off to the left, so we can swing the right leg around. Back to our cobbler's pose. Scooping up the toes or ankles, nice lift and hinge with a straight spine or rounded spine. Again, we're not going to hold too long. If you can, maybe reach out with the hands. All these great sensations in the body. Okay, then slide the hands back toward yourself. If your back is rounded, you can roll up or extend the spine first and hinge your way back up. Let's go to our double pigeon. Now the right leg underneath you. I think that's correct. Okay, so your shin is parallel to the floor. Light flex of that foot. We're taking the left ankle, if possible, right on top of the knee. If not, just slide it towards the windows there. It's okay if there's that gap there. You can just support the knee in your hands on the underside, or even placing something between there for a little rest, or for a little extra pressure, but not much, just the weight of your hand on top of the knee. Yes, hands on the floor just to press down to create space through the sides of the body, which opens the hips too. You might start to close the gap a little bit. This too doesn't need to be forced at all. You don't have to hold it too long. If you need or want more sensation, you can always fold forward. Let's finish 2 more breaths. Okay. If you're folded, we'll come back up. Get the hands behind you so you can lean back. Unravel the legs here. Even shake them out a little bit. Okay. You can just cross your legs here for a moment as I demonstrate this last thing. So I've been setting us up for this. We've done this before in the past, but hopefully I've set this up a little bit differently. So we'll be in downward facing dog. We have that nice natural dip of the chest and head between the arms. Nice outstretched arms here. But let's get the hips involved. I'm going to have you turn your toes out, heels together here. You're going to bend your knees and lower your hips down towards the heels. So you're going to be here. If you can hold here without sliding, great. Okay. Or hold on to your mat for dear life as you hold here. Just kind of get in this low, deep squat with the arms out front. Okay. Now we're going to move through close to the mat into an up dog. You can just bring the legs to the floor, get the hands situated, stay low and just pull. Get your nose close to the ground, adjust your legs and feet into some kind of back bend. there, okay? Another version, of course, heels together, toes apart, arms out front, getting back into this squat. Keep the knees lifted, bend the elbows, get nose close to the ground, kind of shimmy through right there to an up dog. Okay, all righty. It's that pose. It's that flow. Okay, so let's find boat pose as a transition. There we go. Nice breath in, lift, exhale, cross legs, hands out in front or to the side, feet back behind you, plank, hold for strength there. That's why we did all those partial push-ups, okay? And the outstretched arms. Just take a shortcut to down dog or another partial push-up here, okay? Let's give it a shot here. So heels together, toes apart. Okay, bend your knees and sit back and down towards the heels. If you need to, just hold on to the sides of your mat. That might just give you a little bit more traction, a little bit more support as you sit back and get into this awkward kind of squat that's going on here. Yes, okay. Staying as close as you can to the ground. You're gonna pull through to an up dog. You can bring legs down or knees down and pull through, nose close to the mat into a low cobra or an up dog, and then meet in downward facing dog. I'm gonna do that one more time. Alrighty, nice down dog. There's that natural sink of the chest. Here's that little hip opener. Heels together, toes apart. Sit back and down. Excellent. Pull through, nose close to the ground. Bend the elbows, squeeze them in towards ribs. That's it, nice. Up dog, no worries. Downward facing dog. Okay, re-extend the spine as in down dog. Keep a good bend in the knees so the hips can lift a little higher. One more breath. And then gently bring knees to the floor. Stay here on hands and knees. Here you're gonna bring the knees and legs closer together. They might even touch. And then take the hands a bit wider on your mat. From here, just lean or send your hips or sit your hips over to the right. Yes, okay? You can just sit there. I like to kind of massage this. I kind of move forward and back. Just kind of massage, yeah. In that section of the body, I tend to get pretty tight in those areas. So this feels good for me. We'll come back up to center. And take the other side, so directly to the left. Hold or add that massage movement. We'll come back up to center. Hands and knees here. Working our way to our next pose. First, slide your right knee up towards right wrist here, but then send your right knee to center so they're between the hands at wrist level. Step the hands forward a little bit so you can tuck your left set of toes, lifting the knee. Okay, just made space so you can tap your right foot and send your foot over to the left side of your mat. Step your hands forward again. Just enough balance so you can kick this left leg up, just nice little back of the leg extension or activation. Bend this left knee and then tuck the knee tightly in behind the right and swing that foot over to the right. And then sit down or sit down behind you in that space. And if you happen to have a block nearby, you can get a block and sit on the block or just sit on the floor. Again, this part might separate quite a bit, or you might keep that nice stacking sensation, just depending on how your hips are. You can send your toes or feet forward for more sensation. You can fold forward for more sensation. So this is cow face pose, but really just forming the mouth of the cow. Cow face, cow head. Good. Excellent. 3 more breaths. If you are folded, just make your way back up. If you're sitting on a block, let's move the block away. Sit back, hands behind you, lean back so you can uncross the legs. Maybe heels to the floor so you can resit. Just lift your hips and resit. Take a boat pose just for a transition. Inhale, lift. Exhale, cross. Hands in front. Hop back, plank. Just straighten the body. Feel the strength in the body. And then once again, just gently set the knees onto the floor, and we'll set up for that pose on the other side. We'll slide the left knee to left wrist. Then slide it to center between the wrists. Maybe step the hands forward so you can extend your right leg behind you. Toes remain on the floor. Swing the left foot over towards the right edge of your mat. Keep stepping forward with the hands so you can find balance, so we can lift the right leg behind us for the nice extension. Good. Bend the knee, and we'll tuck the knee tightly behind the left, swinging the foot over to the left side of the mat, and then sit back into that space as you're able. Might feel different on the side depending on your hips. Sending the feet forward if you need or want more sensation, or folding even just a little bit. Good. 3 more breaths. If you are folded, we're hinging our way back up. If you've got a block, moving the block out of the way, sitting back, leaning back, uncross the legs here. 1 more boat pose. Good activation. Okay, inhale. This exhale, just set the feet down. Relax. Sit in the center of your mat. Roll down onto your back. Just draw the knees in. Let's just finish with the twist. You can keep the knees together and send the knees over to the left side while you extend your right arm out to the right side. Maybe about 5 breaths on this side. If you need more time on this first rotation, stay here longer. But when you are ready, come back up to center, pause in center for the realignment, and then taking knees to the right as the left arm extends to the left. Getting into the low back, perhaps even the hips. If you want more in the hips, you might even cross left leg over the right leg as the legs and knees go to the right. I might just add a little bit more sensation. In a way, it kind of mimics that cow head pose. And again, stay here a little longer if you need to. Whenever you're complete with this rotation, come back to center, perhaps 1 last hug, and then extend the legs out in front of you. Shavasana, complete release and relaxation of the body. Take a few breaths, allowing the body to completely melt into the earth. Letting go of all the engagement that you participated in during this practice. Then just relaxing into what you achieved in this practice, perhaps some release and opening in tight or bound up areas. Return to the awareness of your breath. Notice your breath, just as you did at the beginning of your practice. This meditative moment of reconnection, feeling fully aware, present. And with this full presence, take 5 slow, deep breaths as you now prepare your body to move. After your 5th breath, slowly and carefully roll to one side of your body. Take your time. You might pause there for a moment, and then continue your slow movement and rise to seated. Just as you did in some of your other poses, find your extended spine sitting up tall and proud. Nice relaxed shoulders. Arms can just rest down by your side. Hands can remain in your lap, or bring hands to heart center. And then just finish with a full and complete breath. So breathe in, breathe out. And as we come to the close of our practice, we bow, saying, Namaste. Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.